do any things they need to do to format it for the local county, and then they turn it in. It could be as simple as a cover page. It could be something they require a 3-inch margin on the top for stamping. Anything like that, they take care of that. The local attorney goes to court, because we find that when we have a local person go, it greases the wheels much better than if an out-of-town attorney shows up. And local man or woman comes in, they get the money. The idea behind this program is essentially you guys really serve as the sales force in a lot of ways. Like you're, with a lot of help, getting things under contract, and then you hand them off to us. And then we go ahead and get the money. So the vision is you do these parts that aren't too hard, we do the rest. The way that the program's been working with me doing the coaching is we start off with me making a call to talk to you and just find out where you are in the business, what it is that you need. Typically that call's an hour and a half, can be longer, can be shorter. I just stay on as long as I need to. You guys probably know, after getting to know me a little bit, that I'll just like do backflips if I have to help you out. Like I'll do whatever I need to do. So if one of my JV partners says, oh, I've got a big claim, could you call them? What I'll say is, well, why don't we call them together? I'll take the lead on the call, no problem. I'll be the one talking, but I want you to listen and learn. Or we can do it together and you can talk also. I think that's fine too. But I want to get you to the point where you're able to do it on your own. It's so I want to teach you, but teach you how to feed yourself. You know, it's like the old story, you can give a man a fish or teach him how to fish. I'll help you go get the first fish, but I want to teach you how to fish so that every day you can fish in and get your fish out. The program length is 12 months. That's its initial length. And after 12 months, you can renew if you want. You can stay in the program, or you can not renew and go out on your own. Either one is okay with us. While you're in the program, we split everything 50-50. So we do the training, we do all that stuff, you do the signing up, and we split the monies half and half each. So if after 12 months you say, you know what, I love this, but I think that it would be less expensive for me to do it on my own, I want to do it, great, no problem. Because I think I've been involved in lots of partnerships, and sometimes partnerships grow stale. And usually they grow stale and old when one person doesn't feel like the other person is doing enough. It's like, well, I know those guys are doing this, but I don't really need them to do that. I'm paying out half the money. I don't really want to do that. So we set it up so that after 12 months, you sort of like, you know what, I'm ready to be on my own. I don't need you guys in particular anymore. It's okay. There's no drama. And it's like, believe me, it makes me just as happy to hear of Eric's success. He's not in our JV coaching program. I'm thrilled. I think more touched when he says, oh, by the way, I'm supporting all these people in Dominican Republic. I think it's amazing. It's a blessing for me to be able to spread that. Because what I hope and what I pray for is that what I do helps you guys get the business that you deserve and helps the people that we all help. And if you look at the leverage going out, I mean, I'm one person with a small team. We can do some damage and we can help get some of this money back. But you guys see the lists. And those lists are expiring all the time. And we could, even all of us can't do it, but all of us can make a huge difference. So I'm really enjoying the program. The people in the JV Partner Program actually have my cell phone number, which I just ask people, like, use your common sense with it, but if you need me, I'm here. They can text me, they can call me, and people do. I got text yesterday that I was on the phone during breaks talking to people saying, what is it that you need, and making sure that they were moving ahead. I'm doing that because I'll do pretty much whatever we need to do to help you be successful, and we both win together as well, because when you bring in a claim, you get someone signed up, it's a 50-50 split. So it's a good alignment of interest, which I'm a big believer in alignment of interest. As I said, this is not at all what you traditionally think of as a coaching program. Traditionally, coaching program, that's like, I teach, you do, you go out and do stuff, and then hopefully you're successful. This is, we do teach because we need to teach you, but the goal is to get you out there signing people up and bringing in claims. That's like the whole goal of the entire program. The program is a good fit for some people, not a good fit for other people. I'll tell you who I think it's a good fit for and who I think it's not a good fit for. I think for people, first of all, that have time to devote to it, to really take advantage of the program, you've got to have 10, 15 hours a week that you're able and willing to spend on the business. I think if you don't have that, then it's not really worthwhile. I don't think the cost of the program is worthwhile. I don't think the investment from our side is worthwhile. I don't think the investment from your side is worthwhile. I'd encourage you to go out, continue to do the business till you get to the point where you say, you know what, I can spend a day or two a week on this and really put the pedal to the metal on it. It's a limited program. We can't just take everybody and anybody because the number of resources we have to devoted to this are pretty big. We just hired Patty, and you will know this. We just hired Patty to be internal to us doing skip tracing. We've been testing her out for about 5 weeks now, just giving her a skip trace, see how she did, and now we're hiring her to be our skip tracer. Because I want to make sure that my JV partners have leads to work. You need leads to work, and that was a place people were getting stuck. We're also doing things like what you had insight into with Tom is not rolling out to the general, like, it's not going into the course. Tom's going to do some individual training with our JV partners, so I'll do a call where Tom will do that training. We'll record that, make that available to them. We'll continue to refine the call script. Again, that'll be in our JV partner program. And we want to do that because obviously we want to make everybody effective. It's a gift I gave to you guys to do this, but that's like a $15,000 call script to do that. Tom's a very, very high-end consultant. And I think you'd agree, fantastic at what he does, right? How many people love the call script? And Tom's scared you because he answered everything. It's like, what's the objection? Tom's like, well, here's what you say. Sometimes I just want to write down his words. I'm like, that is like the perfect thing to say. I wish I could remember it when he says it, or when I have to say it. But that's where we're aspiring to be in the JV partner program, is have everything at that level. I'm also doing something a little different that you guys are getting a taste of. Traditionally, I've done like all the training in our seminars. I love doing it. I'll sit here for 3 days and teach. But what I started thinking was, you know what? One of the things I noticed about really successful, smart people is that they bring in the best of the best to help, like, to give them information, to consult with them. So I said, you know what? Tom is better at call scripts and on the phone than I am. I'm really good, but he's better. So I said, Tom, can we pay you to come out here and do this training and develop a call script? And with Patty, the skip tracer, I'm good at skip tracing. I can do it. She's better. That's what she's been doing full time for 8 years. So, you know, she finds them. And she finds, you know, very, very effective at that. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to have someone whose profession it is that does that. I learn more. You guys, I think, learn more. And it helps everybody. My intention with this program is to do that same thing, to keep bringing in sort of the best people to do training and to help, you know, help everybody to be successful who's in that program. Doesn't mean we're abandoning everybody else, but it does mean being successful. This program is a fairly expensive program. I don't think for what it is it's expensive, but in absolute terms of money it's expensive. It's $25,000. It's, if you don't have an LLC, you need one, so we will form one for you. That's a $1,500 line item. So that's $26,500 if you need an LLC. Most of you have an LLC, so that works within that. There's no other monthly costs or anything like that, but that's 1 year membership, and you're in the program, and basically you get unlimited help. I mean, you get, when I'm giving people my personal cell phone, that's pretty much unlimited help. You also get normal, you know, Mike's time, which you guys all know Mike. We have some support that goes on that isn't with the general population. Like, there's an open call every day from 11 to 12:30, where basically you can just pick up the phone, and either myself or Mike will answer the phone. It rings my cell phone and it rings Mike's. So one of us will get it. So you get that higher level of support. And like I say to all my JV partners, if you're stuck or anything, you have my cell phone. I mean, if it's 10 in the morning, wait till 11, please wait till 11. But if it can't, I'm here. I won't bitch about it. My cell phone does turn itself off at 10 o'clock at night, turns itself back on at 7:30 in the morning. So if people call me at some crazy hour, I'll get the message in the morning, or I'll get their text in the morning. It won't wake me up. So I tell people, don't worry about it. It's not going to wake me up. So, you know, if you have some wacky thought in the middle of the night, you can leave it. And you know, don't worry, I won't think you're crazy, because I know we all have brainstorms in the middle of the night. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I would say that makes it the right fit. So right fit, serious person. Right fit is definitely not a whiner or complainer, and the person thinks of 10 reasons things won't work. Because it's exhausting for me to work with people like that. I mean, everybody understand that? Like, if that's you, you're exhausting everybody around you. I haven't picked up that energy from anybody in this room, thank heaven, but it's tough. And so when we have someone who's like whining, complaining. There are 53 reasons something won't work. I disagree with them. I'm like, this will not work for you because you have 10 reasons it won't work. And then we see like the Erics of the world where he knows, like he has faith in himself and says, I'm going to make this work. And like just holding up for his example for a second. So we had this problem where you're trying to cash a check and your bank said no because you made the mistake of asking for permission. But anyway, so what did Eric do? Well, he said, you know what? The first bank said no, I'm going to go to another bank. Another bank said no, he said, I'm going to another bank. Another bank said no, so I'm going to another bank. Finally gets to bank 10 and like, sure, no problem. So now he's got that problem totally licked. As I said yesterday, before I even knew all the stuff you were doing, it was like, that's why you're successful. Like, because you just keep going. Other people, honestly, I think if you put a garden hose across their front yard, they would never leave the house. So like, there's a hose there, I can't leave. So you need to be, maybe not as much as Eric, like you'd go to 10 banks, but like more on the vein of that you'll keep trying. You don't get discouraged on the first little thing that happens. The first skinned knee doesn't mean you never go running again. Somehow we learn that, with kids, we keep trying things over and over again, right? So somehow as we get adults, we get so risk averse sometimes that we don't try things. So a good attitude is really important. It's important for us to work with someone because ultimately the goal of our program is not to collect $25,000. That's great. But when I'm spending like my time with people every week or every other week, basically it's unlimited. I mean, if you need to be on the phone with me every day, I guess I can do that. It's generally not necessary, but for me to open up my schedule that way, it just takes a lot. That's not the money that we want. We want the money of, you signed up 190 people, let's go get $2 million. Let's go really make some money together. That's the partners we're looking for ultimately. And you also have to have someone who has a pretty big vision. I mean, if your whole vision is to make $50,000 or $60,000 this year, I think that's great. I applaud you, go do that. That's not the right fit for the JV Partner Program. JV Partner Program is where you want to make, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. That's the ideal partner for me. Someone who really has some big goals and is willing to make the effort to make those goals come true. The way that our program works, as I promised, you cannot go back to the back and sign up. It doesn't work that way because we're not looking just for someone with a pulse of $25,000. That does not work. What you would do is just take some time, talk to Donnie. Tom has been integral with forming the program and helping us with that. He acts as a consultant for us to make sure we're doing things the right way and we're giving everybody the best tools. You could chat with Tom if you wanted to. What happens though is you fill in a survey form which tells us about you. Give that to Donnie or give it to Tom and then have a conversation with him. And what would happen is you'll have this conversation, probably another conversation later in the week. And if it looks like a good fit, then you can sign up. If it doesn't look like a good fit, then it's not a sign up. So you'll either be invited to come in or not invited to come in. We keep it very simple. There's not even a deposit or anything like that. We're just trying to see if there's a fit. Because if there's a fit, we can go into this partnership. If there's not, then we won't. It doesn't mean if it's not right for you, it doesn't mean that we don't like you. It doesn't mean it's anything personal. It means we just think it's not the right fit. And if you need to get more information about it, we're happy to tell you why we think it's not a good fit. And it may be something you need to go and develop a little further along before we think it's a good fit. But that being the case, it's not personal that way. No one's going to make you feel badly. It's not anything we never do. But the way you would proceed is you fill in a survey form. It's private and confidential. It's not going anywhere but to Donnie or to Tom. And the other reason normally would just be Donnie, but with the number of people we have here and the limited amount of time we have, I asked Tom to help out, which is why Tom normally does not have part of this job, but he's a trooper. He will be glad to help out. If you fill it in and hand it to those guys, you can make an appointment with Donnie, or I suppose with Tom too, since he's going to be here. So we have a number of you, and just sit down with them. I do have to say, since we have 100 people plus 25 guests, if you think this is something that's of interest to you and $25,000 would be within your budget and you really do have a big goal, make some time to sit down with them, even for 10 or 15 minutes. Just sit down with them, sort of say, here's my vision for where I want to go with the business, here's what I've been doing, here's about me. Ask about the program, get that information, and see if it's a fit. But turn your stuff